And in Asia, stocks traded mixed today on the back of a volatile session on Wall Street, which saw the Dow recover from a 507-point drop. The mainland Chinese market saw gains by the end of their trading day. The Shanghai Composite rose 0.37%, while the Shenzhen Composite advanced 0.853%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index also recovered to close slightly higher at 25.771 points. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Nikkei 225 fell 0.34%, while the Topix Index declined by 0.91%. South Korea's Kospi closed slightly lower, with shares of LG Electronics higher by 2.14%. Australia's ASX 200 gained 0.42%. And U.S. stock index futures pointed to a lower open today as stocks take a breather after a wild session in the previous trading day. At 3:40 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures were down 69 points, implying an open of 20.26 points. Meanwhile, S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures also pointed to a lower open. Market focus is largely attuned to global trade developments after Beijing confirmed it was still in talks with Washington in an effort to broker a comprehensive trade agreement. Meanwhile, a slew of data is expected on Tuesday. NFIB Small Business Optimism Index is due, followed by Red Book at 8:55 a.m. Eastern Time. On the earnings front, American Eagle, Outfitters, and Dave & Buster's are due to report their numbers later today. And away from those equities markets back here, Nigeria's total exports stood at 4.85 trillion naira in third quarter of 2018, higher than the 7.8% recorded in the second quarter. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that total imports for the period was higher at 4.17 trillion naira, representing a 73.8% increase over the previous quarter. Export in the third quarter was still oil dependent, as crude oil exports remained the majority of 85.4%. Non-oil products accounted for 3.4%, while other oil products accounted for 11.20% of total exports in the quarter under review. And to commodities now, some Africa countries like Nigeria is blessed with coal-rich states, especially Enugu, which is known as the coal city because of its vast coal deposits. Other states include Benue, Kogi, Delta, Kwara, Plateau, Abia, Anambra, Bauchi, Edo, Ondo, Adamawa, and Imo. Nigeria coal ranks one of the most bituminous in the world due to low sulfur and ash content, and rated environmental friendly in line with global campaign on cleaner source of energy in order to reduce negative impact of climate change. But how much of the potential in coal production has Nigeria been able to tap into? Let's talk to one of the research analysts with financial derivatives company, Mokhtar Jimoh. Good afternoon, Mokhtar. Thank you very much for coming through to us.
Good afternoon, Chimezi. Thank you for having me.
So Nigeria's total coal reserves is estimated at 2.8 billion metric tons, while output is estimated at 51,000 tons. Is this enough, considering Nigeria's potentials in this commodity?
No, our current production level is not enough given our endowment in this commodity. If you look at the trend in coal production in Nigeria, and you divide this trend into distinct quarters between the pre-independence and post-independence period, you find out that coal production has grown steadily over at the pre-independent period from about 25,000 tons as at 1916 to about 570,000 tons in 1960. However, production has fallen by over 90% to the current level of about 51,000, and that's occasioned by the discovery of crude oil and gas, which led to the neglect of coal as a major source of energy. So when you look at this trend, coupled with the technological progress in the mining industry, you find out that Nigeria is currently underperforming in coal production, and that's probably due to weak investor sentiment in the sector.
Right, the federal government has made the development of solid minerals and agriculture among its top priorities in its endeavor to diversify the oil-based economy. However, according to the latest GDP report, coal mining contracted by 1.74%. Why is this so?
Yes, coal mining product due to the challenges facing the mining industry. For example, the mining industry in Nigeria is dominated by artisan and small-scale operators. In addition to that, there's also the fact that the value chain of coal production in Nigeria is severely underdeveloped. So there is this need to develop the value chain of coal production in Nigeria. For example, the government can look into something like idea of coal-fired plant, and which will ultimately increase Nigeria's energy output and diversify the energy mix that is currently dominated by gas. Let me also add that the idea of this coal-fired plant is not alien. We have countries such as South Africa, United States, generating significant amount of power resources. The United States, for instance, generates about 30 to 40% of its electricity. While South Africa's exports 90% of its electricity.
Well, we seem to be having some audio challenges there. Thank you for your time, Mukhtar, and we do apologize for that audio distortion there. Oil prices edged up today after Libya's national oil company declared force majeure on exports from the El Sharara oil field, which was seized at the weekend by a local militia group. Despite that, overall sentiment on oil prices remained weak amid worries over global stock markets and doubts that planned supply cuts led by producer club OPEC will be enough to rein in oversupply. International Brent crude oil futures were at $60.19 per barrel, up 19 cents from their last close. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $51.16 per barrel, up 16 cents. Libya's national oil company late on Monday declared force majeure on exports from the El Sharara oil field, the country's biggest, which was seized at the weekend by a militia group. NOC said the shutdown would result in a production loss of 315,000 barrels per day and an additional loss of 73,000 barrels per day at the El Fuel oil field. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll cross over to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for an update on today's trading activities. To stay with us.